Ares. Ares, the formidable god of war in Greek legends, embodies the primal and savage aspects of conflict. Revered by some as the patron of warriors, he is often described as a relentless and bloodthirsty warrior, his very presence evoking fear and awe. Though his prowess in battle is unmatched, Ares is also known for his reckless and impulsive nature, plunging mortals and gods alike into senseless wars for his own amusement. Despite his fearsome reputation, Ares is not universally worshipped, as his love for strife and bloodshed brings suffering and devastation to those caught in the midst of his conflicts. Mars. Mars, the esteemed god of war in Roman lore, embodies the disciplined and strategic aspects of warfare. Unlike his Greek counterpart Ares, Mars is depicted as a dignified and revered deity looked upon by soldiers and statesmen alike for his valor, courage, and military acumen. As the divine protector of Rome and its legions, Mars symbolizes the martial virtues of discipline, loyalty, and duty, guiding the destiny of the Roman Republic through times of triumph and adversity. Beyond warfare, Mars is also associated with agriculture and fertility, representing the connection between military prowess and prosperity in Roman society. Tyr, the noble god of war and justice in Norse mythology, stands as a paragon of courage, integrity, and self-sacrifice. Best known for sacrificing his hand to bind the monstrous Wolframir, Tyr embodies principles of honor, duty, and the pursuit of justice in the face of adversity. Admired by warriors and judges alike, Tyr is a patron of honorable combat and the defender of the innocent, ensuring that the laws of gods and men are upheld. Despite the sacrifices he has made, Tyr remains steadfast in his commitment to protecting the realms of gods and mortals from the forces of chaos and tyranny. Sekhmet, the fearsome lioness goddess of war and healing in ancient Egyptian belief, embodies both the destructive and protective aspects of conflict. Esteemed as the fierce and formidable protector of the pharaoh and the kingdom, Sekhmet is often depicted as a lion-headed woman wielding a sun disk or a scepter, her very presence striking fear into the hearts of her enemies. Despite her ferocious reputation, Sekhmet is also worshipped as a healer and a bringer of justice, using her divine power to ward off illness and evil spirits, ensuring the well-being of the living and the dead alike. Futsunushi no kami is a significant deity in Japanese legends, particularly with the Shinto tradition. He is primarily revered as a god of swords, martial arts, and warfare. Futsunushi is also associated with bravery, victory in battle, and protection against evil forces. He is often called upon by warriors, samurai, and martial artists for guidance, strength, and success in combat. In Japanese folklore, Futsunushi plays a crucial role in the establishment of divine order and the protection of the land and its people. Futsunushi is described as a powerful and imposing figure, wielding a sword called Ama no Murakamo no Tsurugi, which translates to Sword of the Gathering Clouds of Heaven. The Morrígan. The Morrígan is a significant figure in Celtic belief, particularly in Irish mythology. She is depicted as a goddess associated with war, fate, prophecy, and sovereignty. The Morrígan is a complex and multifaceted deity, known for her shape-shifting abilities and her role as a harbinger of death and battle. The name Morrígan is often interpreted as meaning Phantom Queen or Grey Queen, reflecting her power and status in Celtic mythology. She is also known by some as a trio of sisters or aspects, Maka, Bave, and Naman, though in some tales, she appears as a singular figure. As a goddess of war, the Morrígan was believed to appear on battlefields in the form of a crow or raven, inspiring warriors and foretelling the outcomes of conflicts. She was also associated with sovereignty, particularly in her role as a guardian and protector of the land and its rulers. The Morrígan was known for her fierce and unpredictable nature, often intervening in the lives of mortals to test their courage or manipulate their destinies. Nergal, the formidable god of war, death, and the underworld, commands the battlefield with relentless fury and determination. Described as a fearsome warrior with a lion's head, wielding a mace or a sword. In Mesopotamian mythology, Nergal was known for his strength, ferocity, and destructive power. He was also closely associated with the desert and the scorching sun, reflecting his role as a god of heat and fire. One of Nergal's most important roles was a ruler of the underworld, where he presided over the realm of the dead alongside his consort, the goddess Ershkigal. In this aspect, Nergal was feared and revered as a judge of the dead, determining the fate of souls in the afterlife. Nergal was also associated with plagues, pestilence, and diseases, often being invoked in rituals and prayers to ward off illness and misfortune. Other than his association with death and destruction, Nergal was sometimes regarded as a protective deity who could defend his worshippers from malevolent forces. Freya, the multifaceted goddess of love, fertility, and war in Norse belief, commands the battlefield with grace, beauty, and martial prowess. Though often associated with matters of the heart and fertility, Freya is also a formidable warrior goddess who presides over the slain and chooses half of the fallen warriors to join her in her hall, Folkvang. As the leader of the Valkyries, she plays a pivotal role in guiding the souls of fallen heroes to the rightful place in the afterlife, preparing them for the final battle of Ragnarok. Despite the dualities of her nature, Freya remains an honored and enigmatic figure, embodying the complexities of love, death, and destiny. Indra, one of the most prominent deities in Hinduism, Indra is the king of the gods, ruler of the heavens, and the god of thunder, lightning, storms, rain, and warfare. Indra's name means possessing drops of rain, or raining down, emphasizing his association with rain and fertility. In Hindu mythology, Indra is often described as a mighty warrior with a thunderbolt, or Vajra, as his weapon. He rides the mythical elephant Airavata and is attended by the divine army known as Maruts. Indra is also associated with the sacred drink Soma, which is believed to grant immortality and divine inspiration. Indra's legends are numerous and diverse, reflecting his multifaceted nature. He is often portrayed as both heroic and flawed, sometimes displaying arrogance, jealousy, and other human-like traits. One of his most famous exploits is the defeat of the demon Vritra, who had withheld the waters of the world, leading to drought and famine. Indra slew Vritra with his thunderbolt, releasing the waters and restoring prosperity to the earth. Despite his prominence in earlier Hindu texts, Indra's importance gradually diminished over time, as other deities like Vishnu, Shiva, and Devi gained more prominence in Hindu devotional traditions. Nevertheless, Indra remains an important figure in Hindu mythology, representing power, leadership, and the forces of nature. He is still invoked in rituals for rain and fertility, particularly in agricultural communities, where his blessings are sought for abundant harvests. Bellona. Bellona is an ancient Roman goddess associated with war, violence, and conquest. She was known as the personification of the destructive aspects of warfare and was often invoked by Roman soldiers before battle to grant them victory and courage. In Roman mythology, Bellona was typically described as a fierce and relentless warrior, adorned in armor and wielding weapons. She was often described with a sword, spear, or whip, symbolizing her role as a goddess of war and conflict. She became increasingly important during the expansion of the Roman Empire, as conquest and military prowess were central to Roman identity and power. Bellona was closely associated with the other Roman god of war, Mars, usually accompanying him in battle. She was also sometimes identified with or regarded as the consort of Mars, although her role as a distinct goddess remains significant. In Roman religious ceremonies, Bellona's worship involved rituals of sacrifice, including the offering of animals and sometimes even the bloodletting of devotees to appease her ferocious nature and seek her favor in times of conflict. Chiyou. With a fearsome appearance with multiple eyes and faces, who could control the weather, particularly fog and rain, to aid him in battle, Chiyou was a figure from ancient Chinese mythology and history, depicted as a tribal leader, warrior, and a god of war. Chiyou is particularly associated with the Battle of Zhoulu, a legendary conflict between the tribes of the Yellow Emperor and Chiyou. The conflict was eventually won by the Yellow Emperor, aided by the divine intervention of deities such as the god of wind and the god of thunder. Chiyou himself became a symbol of resistance against tyranny and oppression in later Chinese folklore. Over time, Chiyou's character has been interpreted in various ways, sometimes as a heroic figure representing the struggle for independence, and at other times as a symbol of chaos and barbarism. Perun. Perun, a prominent deity in Slavic belief, is worshipped as the god of thunder, lightning, storms, war, and the sky. Perun is commonly portrayed as a mighty warrior with a fiery temper, wielding a thunderbolt or an axe. He rides across the sky in a chariot drawn by celestial horses, creating thunderstorms with the sound of his thunderous strikes. Perun was involved in rituals and prayers for victory in battle, protection from harm, and the blessing of crops and fertility. His rituals are performed at sacred groves, hilltops, and natural landmarks associated with thunder and storms. Oak trees were usually sacred to Perun, and offerings of food, drink, and symbolic weapons were made to honor him. Perun's cult was widespread among the early Slavic peoples, and he was venerated in various forms across different Slavic tribes. Kartikeya. Also known as Morrígan, Skanda, or Subramanya, Kartikeya is a significant deity in Hinduism, particularly in South India. He is the son of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati, and is known as the god of war, victory, wisdom, and divine knowledge. Kartikeya is often depicted as a young and handsome warrior riding a peacock and wielding a spear or a vel, a divine lance. According to Hindu mythology, Kartikeya was born with the purpose of defeating the demon Tarakasura, who had become invincible due to a boon. Kartikeya's victory over the fearsome demon is celebrated as Skanda Shashti, a 6-day festival observed by devotees. His famous Morrígan temples attract millions of devotees each year and are worshipped with great devotion. Huitzilopochtli. Huitzilopochtli is a central deity in Aztec religion and lore, particularly significant to the Mexican people of ancient Mesoamerica. He is greatly described as a hummingbird or a warrior adorned with feathers, holding a serpent or a weapon-like spear. As the god of war, the sun, and human sacrifice, Huitzilopochtli held a crucial role in Aztec cosmology and society. According to Aztec beliefs, he was born fully grown from his mother's womb, emerging armed and ready to defend her against the rebellious offspring of his sister. His temple, the Templo Mayor in the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan, modern-day Mexico City, was one of the most important religious sites in the empire. Human sacrifices were offered to him regularly, believed to nourish him and ensure the continuation of the sun's journey across the sky. The Aztec warriors, known as Cuauhtemoc, or eagles, believed themselves to be Huitzilopochtli's representatives on Earth, fighting in his name to maintain cosmic order and ensure the sun's rising each day. Ku, also known as Akua, he is a significant deity in Hawaiian mythology, playing a central role in the religious and cultural beliefs of the indigenous Hawaiian people. He is considered one of the 4 major gods in Hawaiian religion, alongside Kane, Lono, and Kanaloa. As the god of war, Ku embodies the martial prowess, strength, and courage of the Hawaiian warriors. He is revered as a fierce and skilled warrior who protects the Hawaiian Islands and their people from external threats and adversaries. Ku is often invoked by warriors before battle, and offerings and rituals are made to honor him in times of conflict. In addition to his role as a god of war, Ku is also associated with rulership, sovereignty, and divine authority. He is revered as a symbol of leadership and governance, guiding and protecting the chiefs and rulers of Hawaii.